Got a lot of people who've reached out through the years to ask me to mentor them, and I've turned most of them down. And here's why. Because mentorship requires a certain amount of work and accountability. And I want to talk to you about that. For you mothers who are looking for a man to mentor your sons, for you young men looking for someone to mentor you, I want to share some wisdom with you about what it takes for you to succeed in life and how a mentor can help you get there. But it has to be the right kind of mentorship and the right kind of relationship. So who am I? I'm Dr. Manny Scott. I am a happily married husband of 23 years, father of 3 amazing teenagers. I have worked in schools for the past 25 years, working with administrators to help create a culture that's conducive to the flourishing of all students and communities, working with teachers to help them reach, teach, and empower even their most underperforming students so that they succeed in school and graduate prepared for work and life. And I've worked directly with millions of young people throughout the United States and around the world, 49 states, 6 continents. I've worked with them to help them see that they can overcome every obstacle in their lives to succeed in school and chase their dreams and become everything God created them to be. That it's not their conditions, but it's their decisions that can ultimately determine their destinies. And so, if you're interested in content like this, I believe that the Word of God, when applied to your life in practical ways, can help you flourish in every area of your life. Your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your work, and how you serve, and helping people flourish in every area of their lives. And I'm teaching from the Word of God. I'm teaching from my own real life examples to help mentor and guide and encourage other people who maybe didn't have the best role models or father figures or mentors growing up. You want to be something in life and you're an underdog and you don't have access in person to a certain mentor to pour into you. So I'm doing my best to kind of pour into you. But let me talk to you about mentorship. But I'm going to show you one of my son's mentors. He's working with him right now. Coach Scotty in the building.
2-8, 1-9, 0-10.
Wow.
We won 3 games in the last 4 years. We won 7 games this year.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
What's going on, my man?
I'm good, bro. It's good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Congratulations on all your success, man. Coach Scotty, man, I was talking to the camera about mentorship, you know, the importance of it. And I said, man, let me show you one of my boys' mentors. And this is Coach Scotty right here, man. What you do?
Before it was 3.
We had 3.68 on a 30-yard parachute sprint. He beat it by 1/100th of a second, but that's improvement.
That's improvement. Good job, fat boy.
Take improvements one piece at a time.
That's why I'm working out.
Yes, sir. I need to get out here with you, man. Several people have asked me to mentor them, but I've said no because there are things that need to be said that are hard to hear and that are hard to say. There are some lessons that young men, young women need to hear, need to learn, lessons some people need to learn, and lessons they should have learned from their parents, lessons they should have learned from a coach, lessons they should have learned from somebody else in their life that they never learned for whatever reason. And so as a result, they've been allowed to go through life without knowing this truth, without knowing this lesson, without knowing how to do something. Sometimes bringing those things up virtually, online, over the phone, is not as effective because what I found is people avoid accountability and they avoid uncomfortable conversations. And so next time you try to talk to them, they avoid you. Next time you try to text them, they ignore you. Next time you want to get on a call, they're not available because they're avoiding the tough conversations. They're avoiding the tough love. They're avoiding the crucial conversations. They're avoiding the hard truths they need to hear. And so what I've found is one of the most important things you can do if you want to mentor someone is to mentor them in person so that you can build the relationship with them that needs to be in place for you to have the hard conversations. As a mentor, you're not a friend. As a mentor, you can be friendly, but a mentor is someone whose job it is, whose role it is to help you succeed in life, to help you achieve something. And quite often, they have to tell you some hard stuff. So number one, I think you need to do it in person. Number two, I think you should do it builds upon number one. I think they should spend a lot of with me time. They need to spend a lot of time just being with you. Whether you're going to the supermarket, whether you're going to work, whether you're spending time with your family, whether you're going out to eat, whether you're going somewhere. Ideally, it's you inviting them to just be with you, because some of the most important lessons are learned along the way. You don't plan to teach a certain lesson. Usually the mentee will ask a question and you can answer the question in the moment, in context, and speak from real life experience. Sometimes what you want to teach them, the curriculum is taught out of order based on just the organic nature of your relationship. So you spending like with me time, walking around, talking, driving. And number three, this is big, and it doesn't necessarily need to be in this order, but I've found that the mentee is more successful when the mentor's success is tied to the mentee's success. In other words, if the mentee does not succeed, then it somehow hurts the mentor. So for me, for example, I mentored my friend Matt Bennett. He's my friend now. He started off as my mentee. He's grown into my friend. I agreed to mentor him. He was in California. I was in Atlanta. I said, man, for this to work, I need you to move to Atlanta. He moved to Atlanta. He joined me for work. He was my protege. He was my assistant on the road, so he could learn the things I needed to teach him. And he moved out. My success depended on his success. I took real risks on him. I invested in him. I empowered him and entrusted him with parts and aspects of my business that I needed him to do well at. Because if he did not perform those tasks well, it hurt my ability to do my job on the stage. It hurt my ability to focus on the work that I was called to do, the work that I was hired to do. And so whenever he missed the mark or did not perform according to the standard that I had set, we had crucial conversations about those things. Like, no, I need you to do this, that, and the other, because lives are on the line, because this is at stake, because, and I just went through all of the lists, and it was hard. We had many hard man-to-man conversations. We've had many hard brother-to-brother conversations. We've had many hard conversations about life, lessons that I believed he needed to learn, but I could not have taught him from afar, from long distance. I couldn't teach him over the phone. I couldn't have taught him over Zoom. No, I needed to teach him in person and hold him accountable when he missed the mark, hold him accountable when he was not doing his job according to the standard that I had set. Mentorship, when it's effective, I think has to be in person, has to be built on trust, has to involve you taking risks and empowering that mentee to do something and tying your success, that mentee's success, if that makes sense. So those are the reasons why I am emphatic that if I'm going to mentor you, it needs to be in person, because I need to say some things to you that you don't want to hear and that you're not even aware that you don't know. But I'm going to say it. And if you want me to mentor you, then it's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it and you will grow. My boy is now happily married and he's a great husband. He's going to be a great father. He has multiple real estate properties in his portfolio. His business, his speaking business is growing. He's speaking 9 times in the next few days all over the country. He's doing really well, but he started off in a rough situation. He was sleeping on his sister's couch. He was carrying a lot of responsibility that was unfair to him, but he was taking care of a lot of people. And I said, man, if you don't move out here, I'm gonna lose you and you're not gonna get what you need to get. So he took a leap of faith. He committed to the process. And as a result, he is flourishing. He and his beautiful wife, Manny, are flourishing, and I love them. My wife and I love them so much. So for mentorship to work, I think you should find someone that you're willing to spend time with in person and ask them questions and ask the hard questions and commit to the process of growing. These are just some of the things I've learned along the way. From my experience, when the person is not willing to do in person, when the person is not willing to show up, then the lessons they need to learn are not as effective. And quite often they present certain things to you that are not the full picture, and you're not able to really see them in context. You're not really able to see how they behave in real life, in real situations, because those real situations give you the opportunity to give them feedback that will help them grow. I'm not accepting any new mentees in person, but I am trying to mentor as much as possible from my YouTube channel. I'm trying to share as much of my wisdom as possible and hope you apply it. I can't hold you accountable. I'm not going to hold you accountable to it because we're not in person. I'm sharing with you the truths that I would share with anybody who is being mentored by me. I'm softening things up a little bit online. I'm saying them a little more nicely. I'm saying them a little more, it's a little more palatable. But if we're in person and if we're close, there's some things I'm gonna say to you that might not be appropriate. That might not be appropriate for the internet. But if you are from a certain neighborhood with a certain background, then I gotta talk to you a certain way for you to hear me. And that's just the way it is. Now, online, I gotta be a little more careful because I don't want to get banned and none of that stuff. I don't want to get demonetized or none of that stuff. So I'm doing my best to feed and help and mentor online. I need you to read between the lines, learn the lessons, and apply them to your own life. If you want me to mentor you, take these lessons to heart, apply them to your life, ask questions in the comments, and I'll do my best to create videos and answer the questions, or I might even respond to the comment in the comment section. But that's what mentorship is for me. All right, I hope that helps. I am Dr. Manny Scott. Like, subscribe, look around on my channel. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to teach from the Word of God and from my own life experiences that you can flourish in your health, in your wealth, in your relationships, in your work, in how you serve, if you apply that word to your life. All right, I will talk to you soon. I need to get to my other son's track practice. Have a good night. Goodbye.